Hello guys, you're welcome back to the channel STEAM Agriculturist TV. Don't forget, STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Agricultural Mathematics. Today I want to talk about aquaponics system. A lot of youths, a lot of young people have been asking me questions about aquaponics because most of them are familiar with hydroponics. So they're beginning to ask questions to compare the two. So today I want to talk a little on aquaponics, the importance of aquaponics, because aquaponics is a kind of farming without any disadvantage. Yeah, in aquaponics there is no disadvantage in aquaponics kind of farming. And before I go further, I want you guys to understand that aquaponics is a kind of farming that will make you grow fast and even outgrow what you are expected to grow within a limited period of time. Unlike the hydroponics, that most of your inputs, what you buy and use in the farm, is being determined by the cost of those people producing it. In an aquaponics, you have a lot of free things to leverage on. Free things I mean, for instance, let me give you a simple definition of what an aquaponics is all about. Aquaponics is a system of farming where you use your fish wastewater to grow vegetables instead of discarding or wasting that water into the drainage. For most of you that do fish farming, that changes your water, traditional fish farming, you know, some change their water every day, while some change every 2 days, while others change their fish pond water every 3 days. But in an aquaponics, instead of wasting that water or changing it, you're now converting that water into something that you will now use to grow your vegetables. So you can see that in an aquaponics, you use one waste to get another produce. So if you're comparing aquaponics to hydroponics, in hydroponics you buy everything, virtually everything you make use of in your farm. The only thing that can go for free is the land, because you own the land, then the water you pump. In fact, the water is not even free because you have to buy fuel to pump the water. So somehow you still pay subscription for the water. But in an aquaponics setup, you can use that same water for life. The only thing you can be doing from time to time is to top up like 2 to 5%, depending on the level of the hydration and the weather. If it is during dry season, you know, your water, your plants, you make use of water and you have some level of dehydration, so you can top up 5%. But during the rainy season, you don't even top up anything. You can just top up 1 or 2% during the period that there is no rainfall. So you can see the differences. And another advantage of aquaponics is that it gives you 100% healthy food, because in an aquaponics it doesn't support the use of chemical. Don't forget, the fishes live in the water, they produce their waste. You now take the water to grow your plants. The plants now purify the water that you send back into your fish tank. So if you are applying any pesticide or any herbicide, it will flush, it will wash down the fish tank and kill the fish, because those things are high concentration of highly concentrated. They have high concentrations of chemical in them. Your fertilizer is a byproduct of your petroleum, same as your pesticides. So in aquaponics, another advantage of aquaponics is that fish nutrient water is more high in nutrient level, in calcium, in potassium, in phosphorus than every synthetic chemical fertilizer you can think of in the world. Researchers have proven it. We have done the practical and we've seen. In our farm, we compare hydroponics and aquaponics with the normal traditional farming. Aquaponics has proven to be 3 at times 4 times better in terms of yield, in terms of size of fruits, in terms of greeniness of the food, like these leafy greens. And if you're comparing the nutrients to the hydroponics fertilizer or hydroponics synthetic nutrient, aquaponics is 80% higher in nutritional value to plants or for plants than that of hydroponics. And in aquaponics, it gives you the room to get two produce. You're buying just the fish's feed, you're just buying a feed to feed your fish, but in the long run, you're harvesting not just fish, but healthy, nutritious vegetables or crops. And there is no kind of plant you cannot do in your aquaponics, sorry to say. In your aquaponics, there is no kind of plant you cannot do there. All the plants you do in your hydroponics, you can do them in your aquaponics, and you get 3 to 4 times better results than that being cultivated in hydroponics. So the benefits are numerous. You don't change your water, you save cost of changing fish pond water, unlike those people that do their normal traditional fish pond that pump out water. In aquaponics, you don't pump your water, so you're saving the cost of pumping water. You cut the cost of pumping water. That same water will now give you another produce. So you see, when you are into aquaponics, there is a lot of benefits. That is what I mean by it outgrows you within a limited period of time, because it helps you to save cost and it helps you to generate what? Profits. You not just save cost, you generate more income. Your profit margin increases because it gives you room for other production processes. So like in Rista Farms, we'll not just end in doing the aquaponics, we also go into processing. So when you still process, you still make much more value in the value chain. I like to encourage farmers. There is a lot of potentials in agriculture. Like in my farm, there's this tomato we do, they call it the snake tomato. I assure you that snake tomato is 100% better than every other tomato I have come in contact with. I've planted, I've eaten, and in fact I have done research on. Just one tomato that's looking bigger than cucumber, one tomato when you scale it, you'll be getting 2.5-3 kg. It is more sweeter than your normal tomato, and it is more, in terms of health benefits, it is more medicinal than every other tomato. So I want farmers to begin to look inwards. Now we are going into dry season. A lot of farmers will go a long way to get water for their plants, irrigation, some get from the stream, some get the sink borehole, but at the long run, farmers spend more in building irrigation source for their plants than those that are into aquaponics. Because in aquaponics, you don't bother. Once you fill up your tanks, you can stay for 1 year, 2 years. If it is a farm that by default uses 300,000 liters of water every month, once you stock your ponds with 300,000 liters of water, then that month you can only top up, like let's say 5 to 4 to 3,000 liters of water. It is nothing compared to 3,000 liters of water. So I think all farmers should begin to think towards aquaponics, because 1, it gives you healthy food. 2, you save cost. You don't buy your fertilizer because that fish water is higher than every synthetic fertilizer you can think of in the world. It's scientifically proven. I have done the practical for over 10 years. There is a lot of benefit when it comes to aquaponics, which is organic farming. Are we talking of you doing your BSF fly? to further cut the cost of feeding your fish. Now, if you can cut the cost of feeding your fish, you can see that your production cost can be reduced to at least 20%. There is no how on earth an hydroponics farmer can compete with you, because one, even the food values, your food has more value than that of his food. What he produces is just a combination of chemicals. Health wise, you're better than him. In terms of income, if it takes an hydroponics farmer 1,000 to produce a unit of food, at least an aquaponics farmer will spend at most, let's say 200 naira. So that's just the check. That's the differences when you compare.